where we taste espresso for you. This is the espresso analysis of the three. We have, it's called Biscotti, from DAC Coffee Roasters. We also have the Candy Crush by DAC Coffee Roasters. And on the end, we have the Yuki Minami Pineapple Fermented Anaerobic by Rival Brothers Coffee Roasters. Rob?
Interesting, right? Pineapple, fermented, anaerobic, Brazilian coffee. Definitely the best Brazil I've ever tasted. 110%. I mean, this was, what I get, roasted peanuts, lemon zest. You said pineapple, which I can kind of see. And this was actually a nice little thing. They let us grab some of their coffee before they're releasing it. So it's coming out soon. So check back on the website in the next couple of days, and I'm sure by the time this video comes out, it'll be out, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, man. It's good. It's good. But pineapple, it's like a sweet and sour. Like that pineapple comes through really nicely. There's just enough like milk chocolate in there to make it like, still coffee. It's not just like fruit juice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've tasted some really good Brazils, though. I've had a couple, and there was that one World Brewers Cup, 2018, I believe. 2018, do you remember that?
No.
They kind of like won a competition so they could go to that farm, and they were kind of like, this is sort of a waste of time. And then they tasted the coffee, and they were like, what? And it was one of the, it has like half the amount of caffeine as normal.
Right.
I got to taste that actually when I happened to get the chance to go to Cafe Mamaya in Tokyo. But also I tasted another one similar to that was in Berlin that was really, really good. This one, pretty freaking good. Super fruity, super interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting to pull this a few more times.
Yeah, so we nail it down a little bit.
And nail it down.
I got it at Rival Brothers, and the guy who made it just made it absolutely beautifully. He nailed it at Rival Brothers. This is the original, the Lombard and 24th location. Yeah, it's really cool. So essentially anaerobic fermentation, there's no oxygen. I believe carbonic maceration is where instead of just no oxygen sealing off, this is natural, so it's not pulped at all. They put in a thing, they cover it up. If it's carbonic maceration, I believe they add carbon dioxide and push out the oxygen, and then they seal it back up, so there's very, very no oxygen. With anaerobic fermentation, I believe they actually just seal it off so that all of the yeast or whatever's in there like uses that oxygen up, and then once it's used up, then it starts doing anaerobic fermentation. I'm sure there's nuance to the way people do these things. Feel free to disagree in the comments, because I looked a really long time into it and couldn't get very good answers. But that's kind of the best I got so far.
Right.
Yeah, but man, but so they throw in pineapple juice in this one is the deal.
Yeah,
They take pineapple juice probably from the farm and throw it into to make sure there's no oxygen. So that adds all sorts of weird, interesting.
Right, and also, when you're doing anaerobic fermentation, your fuel is the sugar from the coffee cherry. So if you're adding fruit juice, then you're just adding more fuel to the fermentation. And of course, I think that's going to affect the overall flavor too. Like depending on what fruit juice you're using, what kind of sugar you're using, that's going to have an influence on the end result. Which seems like the pineapple flavor kind of comes through.
I really think it does come through.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what the process looks like. I'm sure if you talk to Rival Brothers when they release this, they'll probably really know well. And the barista I spoke with seemed to know really well. But this is one of those interesting things where it's like, are we flavoring the coffee? Are we not flavoring the coffee? We're not like putting pineapple juice in our coffee, so there's that. But I actually got to do a tasting. George Howell, I think, is known for helping create Cup of Excellence as an old head. But he has a cafe in Boston. I walked in there with a friend, and he happened to be doing a live cupping in his cafe himself.
Oh, wow.
With his, like a couple barista. And it was like a bunch of different coffees. There was Intelligentsia. There were some Geshes there. Yeah, I was talking about how I really like naturals. And he was like, no, you're flavoring the coffee. He's like, you can get these flavors if you do it perfectly, processing, washed, everything. You can still get those flavors. You just have to do it really, really well. And I was like, okay. And he was like, anaerobic fermentation, no. But it's kind of what's happening. And let the debates begin on that,
Yeah, definitely. You're in the comments section. Tell us, do you like washed coffee or naturals? Why?
Yeah, are you flavoring the coffee by being natural? All right, next coffee is the Biscotti by DAC Coffee Roasters. We got it from Thank You Coffee in Philadelphia. on Jewelers Row. I believe it is
Yep.
7th and Sansom. Nice little cafe.
Right, dude. This they're relatively new. I actually work very close by and haven't even been inside yet. And now I really want to go because I mean, this coffee is really interesting. Like we said, pomegranate was kind of the major thing. The tasting notes said cranberry, so you can get cranberry to pomegranate. Probably depends on the water you're using. Yeah, I mean, this was really surprising coffee. I haven't tasted coffee this good in a long time.
There's a little touch of dryness on the bottom. You know, like
definitely got a little dry, but that
might have been how we're pulling it. Like we don't have time to dial in all these coffees perfectly. We have nice recipes, we have nice equipment, but we could, of course, always do it a little bit better. A lot of acidity there, though. If you like your like dark chocolate and your caramel with like just a little barely touch of raspberry acidity, this might be a little bit too much. There's a little bit of a pucker there, The pucker there, but that dryness on the end is like the dryness of a really dark chocolate. Now that I'm tasting it as it cools down, the dryness is there, but the chocolate isn't there. Well, the dark, if it's really dark.
That really dark, like there's some dark chocolates. I was thinking like this dark chocolate I got from Uganda that was just super heavy, and then the mouthfeel was a very similar mouthfeel for me. The roof of my mouth got super dry.
Yeah, I get the dryness, but I don't actually get the chocolateness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not actually chocolate. It's just the dryness, as if there was chocolate without the taste of chocolate. Yeah, but that's the nature of coffee stuff. Yeah.
But if you're looking for like a super sweet milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and caramel espresso, this is not what you're going to get. Maybe blend it with one, but yeah, that's not what you're gonna get. All right, cool. And then
the star of the show.
It is the Candy Crush by DAC Coffee Roasters, also begotten from. Thank you. It is a Caturra. It is an Mosto, I believe. It is a carbonic maceration, which I believe is where you put in the carbon dioxide to kick out the oxygen. And we're gonna taste this again because. Wow. Just smelling.
It's like fucking candy.
It's good.
Seriously like a Jolly Rancher, Fruity Pebbles. I mean, yeah, definitely like a nice, citrus wine. Yeah.
Citrus weird. Yeah, that weird, what was that? Serbian wine, I think it was that?
Serbian wine, I think I had like
orange.
I had a wine from New Zealand once that was orange in color, and it was just beautiful.
This is not just Fruity Pebble, though. It's not like...
Not just, no.
It's not the raspberry, blueberry Fruity Pebble, right? It is... There's like... It looks like pineapple or whatever. I put papaya in there. I think this is This is the best version of papaya that I've tasted in a coffee ever in my life, and it's surrounded by all sorts of other really cool, fun stuff. Yeah. This is like complex. One sip just lasts. This is like this is an aha moment for coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you drink this, you're gonna.
It's gonna be different.
You're gonna whether you love it or hate it. I don't know if anyone would hate this. That's the thing. I think that maybe it could be off-putting to someone who's used to like a darker, more classic espresso, like. You definitely got to be
for burnt brownie.
Yeah, no.
This is not here. No,
you got to be prepared. Sometimes, like you're gonna get an espresso. This is definitely like. I don't think they serve this as espresso either.
No. It's actually a pour over. It's very expensive as a pour over.
Right. So this is the sort of thing where like the only way you're drinking this as espresso is if you do it.
If you do it yourself, and this is how you learn from us that it can be done. Which is my whole theory. This is the reason we're doing this. Like all these coffees, we have made it as espresso, and nobody else is serving as espresso because it's America and it's kind of hard to do all that stuff and to dial it in properly. Bloggity blah. It's difficult, but here at our house we can do it, and so we're doing it for you. And get this coffee, make it as espresso at home. You will at least see the other end of a spectrum from the classic Italian Sicilian espresso. And you'll see where you can go. It's like those aha moments with almost every food. You're like, I didn't know that pasta could taste this good. I didn't know that, a Cabernet Sauvignon could taste like this. Right. This is one of those, an espresso can taste like this, and it's freaking good.
Yeah, this is hard not to drink. I mean,
there's some weirdness in there though, man. Oh, it's so good. It's weird. So complex.
I bet, and honestly, as I was drinking it, I bet there's a way that if we did it wrong, it would taste like a tomato.
Yeah, I'd probably have to make it really, really short, like really like just over extracted, like sort of kind of, and then like just tons of coffee in it.
Yeah. I bet this is one that will really hold up well to age as well. I believe.
Yeah.
You get something that tastes like that, let it get old.
Which, by the way, we don't actually have a spare. We've been freezing a lot of our coffees, so we can do a little pop up and like have people taste sort of in flights of where we're gonna go with it. And it'll be limited, so pay attention if you want to. Reach in the comments, reach out to us. We need to buy more of this.
Yeah.
I'm Dave.
I'm Rob.
And this is Just Espresso, where we taste espresso for you.
We taste espresso for you.
You.
Cheers.